Thank you so much for joining us. We do apologize for starting late. Now, after more than 2 years, Israeli hostages held in Gaza have been released, handed over to the Red Cross in a moment filled with emotion and hope. This breakthrough comes alongside a prisoner swap deal, signaling a fragile step toward peace amid ongoing tensions in the region. We will unravel these developments on What Now today. Hello and thank you for joining us. I am Precious Amayu. Let's begin with the latest updates from the Middle East. After 2 years of anguish and uncertainty, some Israeli families have finally reunited with their loved ones today. The first group of hostages held by Hamas in Gaza were transferred to the Red Cross and brought back to Israel, marking the start of what could be a turning point in the ongoing conflict. Crowds gathered overnight in Hostages Square waiting for confirmation, and they were not disappointed. Now, on the Palestinian side, Israel has released about 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, a move welcomed by Palestinians who seem too exhausted to rejoice. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has told cheering Israeli lawmakers that the long and painful nightmare is finally over, as it marked the official end of the Gaza war. In a historic address to Israel's parliament, the first by a U.S. president in more than 15 years, President Trump said this would be remembered as the moment everything began to change, and change for the better. President Trump, on a whirlwind visit to the region, will now head to Sharm el-Sheikh for a peace summit with Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and other world leaders. Now, inside the Knesset, chants of Trump, Trump, Trump broke out as the president called it the historic dawn of a new Middle East. He acknowledged frustrations with Israel's military campaign in Gaza, calling it bad and heated in his conversations with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
After tremendous pain and death and hardship, now is the time to concentrate on building their people up instead of trying to tear Israel down. We don't want that to happen again. And the total focus of Gazans must be on restoring the fundamentals of stability, safety, dignity, and economic development so they can finally have the better life that their children really do deserve after all these decades of horror. I intend to be a partner in this effort in the sense that we're going to help and we're going to do something that became unbelievably popular. Everybody wants to be on it. It's called the Board of Peace, okay? How about that? Is that a beautiful name? Like a board of peace. The only bad thing from my standpoint, every single nation involved has asked me to be the chair, and I'll tell you, I'm very busy. I didn't count on that, but you know what? If we do it, we'll do it right, and we have unbelievable power and wealth, because you're going to need wealth. You're going to need wealth to rebuild things, and they have wealth like few people have wealth. I want to thank the Arab and Muslim nations for their commitment that they've made to support a safe rebuilding of Gaza and beyond. I have many Arab countries, very wealthy countries, that came up and said, we'll put up tremendous amounts of money to get rebuilt.
Meanwhile, his address was briefly interrupted by a protester demanding recognition of Palestine. Security quickly removed the individual. And joining me now to discuss this is Patrick Coker. He joins me virtually, he's a global affairs analyst. He joins me virtually on the What Now. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
So reports we're getting now, which we've taken, is that the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas held in Gaza for a third day on Sunday. We've also seen release of hostages and prisoners from both sides. How significant is this in the entire peace process?
Largely, thank you very much. Largely today has been described as an extraordinary day. And I definitely agree with this characterization, not least when we have seen from both parties, the Israel and Palestine, joyous moment. People on the street celebrating, days just waiting for hostages, prisoners to be exchanged. And that has happened. And I can tell you that we're fast moving to the next phase, which is the signing of a peace agreement at Sharm el-Sheikh.
Dr. Coker, a lot of people share that optimism with you when you say, you know, they're fast. I mean, we're fast moving. But President Trump, you know, declared the war is over in Gaza after 2 years of fighting. And again, like you, this optimism has been shared really broadly. You talked about the next phase. It is still to be negotiated. So what is the guarantee that both sides will respect this agreement?
Well, in a peace process, there are no firm guarantees because it's a long-lasting process until we reach the end, from my experience. Now, the key stage, which is the phase one, has been achieved largely, although we still expect the Palestine to release, or Hamas to release the remains of Israelis that are still being held. And I can tell you, if that is not fulfilled, it could jeopardize the whole process. But I want to believe that that will be done probably before the close of the weekend. Now, moving forward, leaders have all gathered, and all of them in Egypt have shown commitment towards signing the peace agreement. I must say that one thing must be sustainable. That is the pressure on both sides. Otherwise, any slight non-conformance or non-performance in the agreement, in the peace agreement, could derail the whole. But I must also make bold here that there seems to be this desire for a lasting peace in the Middle East.
And what sort of pressure should be put on? I know you've mentioned Hamas, but what sort of pressure should be put on Prime Minister Netanyahu, who a lot of people believe his response has not always been proportional to whatever the offense is, if any at all?
Well, proportionality in time of war is quite subjective. And as you could see in Gaza, you could say one is not proportional to the other, and vice versa. However, the kind of pressure that has been put on Netanyahu for him to cease fire and agree to this peace agreement, at least the phase one aspect of it, is quite immense. And most watchers have said there's only one person that can put that kind of pressure on, in quotes, Bibi, as he is being called. In any case, I believe that some sketchy areas still are still there, which is the two-state solution, which Bibi has definitely said he does not support. But I want to believe the pressure will continue. On the Hamas side, they have to be demilitarized. They have to disarm, and they have to play no role in the new peace agreement. If they will agree to this, is yet to be seen. And I can assure you that the Arab world or the Gulf states will have a big role to play here. Reconstruction of Gaza, and indeed the whole of the Palestine, is another big issue. So pressure must
and
be
Dr.
put
Coker,
on the...
we'll come to that because it's really critical. The peace plan mentioned it in passing, not so much detail, and I would like us to talk about that. That's the reconstruction of Gaza. And when we return, but we'll take a break now. We'll just put you on hold. And when we return, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us, everyone.
Thank you.